Nowadays, I see you have Fearless Fitness. Can you tell us about Fearless Fitness and what you do now?
Yeah. Well, one of the things I've always been into is like health and fitness. One of the things when I was a kid growing up, I had some friends die when I was young, and it really just kind of the whole death thing scared me. So at a young age, I started really getting into my health and taking care of myself, and that's what kind of got me into that. And then when I was wrestling when I was younger, and my neighbors were really good wrestlers, and always pretty much had their way whenever we wrestled. A lot of it was obviously technique, but I was also kind of a skinny, scrawny kid. So I just started working out and lifting weights, and it got me better at wrestling. And then I think once I got into martial arts, I quit all the wrestling stuff just because I love martial arts so much. And so that's what got me into the exercise. And then when I became a policeman, I was one of the fitness instructors on the police department and kind of helped out with all the fitness exams that a lot of the policemen have to go through. And so I did that. And then when I left the police department, I didn't know what I wanted to do
Now,
at that
how
point.
long were you a cop for?
10 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So I trashed my leg working doing it then, just fighting and rolling around with a guy, and I had to leave because I couldn't. I can walk and talk and do all that stuff, but I can't fight with people per se. Just my leg will just kind of come right apart. I have no ligaments or anything in it, so I had to leave. And then I was like, wow, what am I going to do? And so that's what got me. I got my real estate license, and then I said, you know what? Look, why don't I? One of my friends said, hey, you should be a trainer. You got a degree in exercise physiology. You got a degree in nutrition. At this point, I was on the cover of Muscle Fitness magazine, and
Yep.
I did all these, covers of magazines. And he said, you do really good as a trainer. And I said, let me give it a try. And it just kind of took off. So I started doing that, and it became very successful. And then I moved out to San Diego, and as you know, California is very health orientated. So I got even more successful out here, and it's just been great. I love it. I love what I do. I meet a lot of great people. A lot of them are big parts of my life now, and it's just been really fun. And the biggest thing for me is I love helping people, like
Yeah.
especially if someone's getting pain or someone needs help with a disease or something. It gives me as much joy to see them healthy again and enjoying life than just helping myself and keeping everything a secret. I love to see people healthy and happy and doing well. So it's always a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do people, as a trainer, do people recognize you as Sub Zero? Do you get people in the
Yeah,
street that
yeah.
recognize you?
Yeah. The people do actually. My wife will come out and we'll be out, and she goes, "That guy's staring at you over there." And quite a few times, people come out and go, "Man, you look familiar." And then my wife will go, "He's Sub Zero." She's always my biggest cheerleader. She goes, "He's Sub Zero," and the guy's like, "I knew I recognized you, man." Ends up being a big Mortal Kombat fan. There's a place out here I want to give a shout out to. It's called Throwback Games, GAMZ. And every now and then I like to go into the gaming places and just meet the people. I'll just walk in.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and Manny's the name of the guy. He owns it, and it kind of gives me a look when I come in. He's like looking at me, and my wife goes, "I think he definitely recognized you." I go, "Hey man," I said, "My name's John." He goes, "John Turk. I know you were Sub Zero." So it's just kind of funny. A lot of these people, I haven't changed much since the game. I kind of look pretty much the same. I mean, I'm a lot older, but I haven't dramatically changed too much. I mean, I got a little more wrinkles and gray hair, but
You
I
look
think
great.
people still. No, thanks, man. But when I was the unmasked Sub Zero, you pretty much see my face. So that's
Yeah.
I think why a lot of people are able to recognize me as opposed to this kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of cool, and it doesn't bother me at all when people say stuff and want to meet, get an autograph. I'm blessed. I'm happy to, and it's good to meet all the fans. Honestly, I've never had a bad experience with any Mortal Kombat fan. I just they've all been
Yeah.
really good to me and just all really cool. I really enjoy going to the shows and meeting everybody and just hanging out. So it's a lot of fun, and everyone's respectful, and it's just a really good day.
But getting away from Mortal Kombat for a second, because I'm a health nut now too. I go to the gym every day, and this is that, this and that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what I just want to hear from you, like, what what's your recommended diet? What's your recommended like protein or anything? What's the proper amount of cardio? I just want to hear some health tips from you.
Yeah.
As far as bodybuilding goes.
No, I get you. I mean, a lot of people ask me these types of questions, but the first thing in order for me to answer that is I have to know what your goals are, what you want to achieve. And it might be an athletic goal. It might be a cosmetic goal, like you want to be a certain look. It might be you want to be certain strength. And each one of these goals has a different type of diet or how you should eat. Like some people say, I want to do a triathlon. I want to do an Ironman. I'm going to have them eat completely different than I'm going to have a power lifter eat or a bodybuilder eat, So it all depends on what your goals are. So what I usually generally tell people is, the most important thing you can do, and this goes for any sport, is you got to get good proteins in there, a good variety of them. Yeah. And you got to eat at least your body weight in grams of protein, because your body turns over all your hormones, all your enzymes in your body are proteins. And I'm not a big fan of the whole fasting thing, although I think these diets have a place. I believe all the fasting diets are for healing. So that's why I think they're good. But if you're trying to lose weight, it's not the best thing, because you'll end up damaging your metabolism. I did a 3-day fast, and for 6 months, I just couldn't get weight off of me. It was just, it actually made me fatter. So I don't recommend it unless you have like a stomach problem or, you got some kind of joint problem. You're trying to get rid of inflammation. They're great for that. But if you're trying to lose weight, a lot of people are doing this intermittent fasting. It will work for some, but for the majority of people, I found it doesn't work. But it's great if you have like Crohn's disease or you have some kind of stomach problem where you're trying to heal yourself. So for me, I just believe in a really good balanced diet, and it's eating protein with every meal. My diet is basically, now again, this is me, but I eat 40% carbs, 40% protein, and 20% fat. All my fats come from, usually polyunsaturated fats or some saturated fats. I don't eat a ton of saturated fats, like red meat probably once a week, but I eat a lot of like sweet potatoes, a lot of what's called basmati rice. I eat a lot. So my dad's from the Middle East, so I love like bulgur and things like that, and certain meats, feta cheese, tomatoes. So, I mean, my diet's very Mediterranean, so to speak. So I just think that's the healthiest diet. It's great for your heart. It's great for your skin, your hair, your nails, your joints. Olives are fantastic for you. So I eat a lot of olive oil. But for you, if you want to get in shape, people will say you don't have to count calories. There's truth to that in a small extent. But if you want to watch, tell me that I don't have to count calories and I'm someone who likes to eat a lot, I can put a lot of weight on if you're telling me I don't need to count calories. So I think there comes a point, if you want to be a certain look and a certain body fat percentage and aesthetic, you have to count your calories. You do. And I don't necessarily count calories, so to speak. I count my macros. I always make sure I get my protein. I always make sure I get my carbs. And your fats I eat such a low amount of fats, they just kind of fall in line. And so if you're that kind of guy, what's a really good thing for you to do is take the blood type test and find out what your blood type is, and then go online and say eating for your blood type and look at that. And I found that a lot of people, whatever it says to do for that diet, a lot of people do tend to lean whatever way that program says to eat. So for me, I'm good with vegetables and meats, which is exactly what I am. I'm not good with a lot of fats. I'm not good with a real heavy carb diet. But you might want to take a look at that. That's been something that might work for my wife, myself, and quite a few people that I know as well. So you get your blood type. It's called the blood type diet, I think. And it's free. It's online. You download it. And it'll just give you a rough idea of how you should eat. So, health is everything. It's like,
yeah, I mean, I'm at the gym every day. It's just the hardest part is just eating right's the hardest part. But I'm at the gym every day.
Yeah.
So
what's your goal when you're at the gym? Are you trying to get bigger or stronger?
Mainly stronger. I'm not too worried about myself. If anything, I'm trying to shred and get my abs back. But I'm doing pretty good. I do my I do 20 minutes. I do like 20 minutes of cardio. So I do the stair machine. I do the ropes. Then I do the ab machine. And then I'm always I'm doing pretty good. Like I weigh 182 and I can bench well over 300. So I'm doing pretty good.
That's good.
I just want to get my abs back, and I'll be satisfied. But yeah, I'm
don't
making
do super hard cardio.
What's that?
Don't do really hard cardio. Do like real moderate to low cardio because you want to burn fat. And if you do really hard cardio, all it does is it burns muscle actually, and it increases your appetite. So for me,
Okay.
when I did like the Cover Muscle Fitness and I did all that fitness modeling for years, my cardio basically was walking on a treadmill for 45 minutes. I would walk at 2.9 to 3 miles an hour, which isn't much, and I would walk at a 2-degree incline to simulate the pavement. And I would do that for 45 minutes to an hour. That way your body burns fat. It's not burning, mostly muscle that you burn when you do really hard cardio. Because once you get into what's called the anaerobic state, and then you come back down like high intensity interval training, you're really burning up a lot of glucose or glycogen, and a lot of that's stored in your muscles. And so you're kind of deflating your muscles by doing that really hard cardio. So if you really want to get your abs back, just clean the diet up a little bit and walk. Don't do really super hard cardio. Walk for like 45 minutes.
Good to know. And I'd rather walk than do the super hard cardio. So thank you for that tip. Well, actually, hold on. We got another question here from Fitz Vegas.
Sure, yeah.
He says, "Hey John, what should I eat for breakfast? It's the only meal I struggle with. I'm trying to add muscle and shred my gut."
So the question you might want to ask him is, what is he eating right now? If he had name 2 of the meals he's eating, I could tell him which one to keep eating and what he can add. So what is he eating right now for breakfast would be the first question.
He eats salmon or fish with broccoli for 3 meals, and breakfast I eat a TV dinner with 31 grams protein.
Well, I would get rid of the TV dinner, but one of the things I really loved a lot in the morning because it's easy on the stomach, it's warm, it tastes good, is I would take one of the things you really got to start looking out for is your joints. And so what I do is I make this breakfast. It's oatmeal. I get, the cooked oatmeal, and I put 3 packs of stevia in it, and I take gelatin, which is like Knox gelatin. You'll see it in the store. It's what they make Jell-O from, but it's really good for your joints. It's got cartilage in it that helps promote joint health. So with all the lifting we do, it's really good to have something like that. So I add the Knox gelatin, it's powder, to my oatmeal. This is before I put the water in it. So I got the oatmeal, the stevia, the Knox gelatin, and then I add hot. It's called cacao, CACAO. They're finding in studies that it helps your body produce stem cells, which help you grow and repair and utilize all your healing properties. So this cacao stuff is tremendous for that. So I put a half a scoop of that, or basically a tablespoon, into my oatmeal. And then I also put creatine in there. You should take creatine. It's really good stuff. And then I take, I also add, what's the last? I put whey protein in there. So I like this brand called Jarrow, and it's French vanilla, and I put a scoop and a half in there, so it's like 30 grams of protein. And then I put a little bit of goat milk. Goat milk's actually easier to digest and has really good properties in it. And then I just take hot water and I cook it up, and it makes this really good consistency. It makes it even more paste, like a paste, because of the gelatin in it. And man, it'll really power you through the morning. And it's, again, great for your joints. I would start really looking out for your joints. Make sure you're taking fish oil, gelatin, stuff like that. So what I also do too is I eat bone broth. You could have bone broth. So what I do in the morning is I take a cup of bone broth too once in a while, and I heat it up like I would a cup of coffee, and I sip on that, and I put 3/4 bone broth and then 1/4 of soup stock. And bone broth is phenomenal for your joints. It's got a lot of protein in it, and it's got what's also glucosamine, which is huge for your joints. So that would be another thing I would consider doing. I like warm stuff in the morning, not real cold. So the oatmeal, the bone broth, these are things that a lot of people don't really think about, but they just add and really kick up your nutrition a notch.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the health tip. See, you guys, now that you get the geek knowledge, you get the health and fitness knowledge too. So definitely appreciate that.
My website, a little plug. There's some good tabs on there you can go to. There's called Fitness Nutrition Tips on my website. You'll see it at the top. But you go to personaltrainersandiego.com. It's all run together. Personaltrainersandiego.com. And when you get to the top of the page, just go to the nutrition part and you'll see nutrition fitness tips. Click on that. It's a whole list of how you should eat. Really good ways to, take care of yourself. There's some really good calculators on my site too. Like if you want to predict your 1 rep maximum on any exercise or the bench, it's got a calculator for your heart rate. If you're doing cardio, like you want to be in a certain zone, it'll tell you what you're burning mostly in that zone. And just a bunch of other real good little tools on there. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is Sub-Zero Unmasked. So it's let me pull it up there. Just
I'll put all that in the description of the video, everyone. And by the way, Fist Vegas says thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. All of John's links are going to be in the description, and I'll add the personal trainer San Diego in there as well.